Hello, and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be looking at how to retain the position of drag and leave the view right there. So let's go ahead and take a look at it at an example for that. So we're going to resume from our state variable. So this is what we had like in the original video when we started this drag gesture videos where we had state and offset was being observed at the state level with like add state property. Okay, uh, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. So I have image resizable, and the frame is set, offset is set, and now what we're gonna do is scale to fit shadow and animation. Now in order to achieve this drag and retain the drag position, what we want to do is we wanna get the value of current drag position or current translation and keep adding that to a variable, so we can actually keep that additive. So basically keep keep adding the value, because what happens, the translation that you're given at every drag location is uh, is basically the difference between the last location and the current location. So the start location is always going to be zero. It doesn't matter where your drag starts. So what happens basically, whenever you try to retain the position, the translation does not give you the actual value of the drag state, but it actually gives you the difference between the previous drag state and the current drag state and difference between those two. Okay, and we can with very simple calculation, we can actually compute what that current finger drag location is, so we can actually move our view and leave our view over there. Okay, so how can we do that? Now what we can do is we can create a function, and we can say add to position, and this is basically going to take a translation, and it's also going to return a CG size to be, so basically the computed translation, and we're simply gonna return CG size with width as offset, whatever the offset is at this point, dot width plus translation that we've been actually supplied, its width. And for the height, we're gonna say offset dot height plus translation dot height. Okay, and what we can do is we can use gesture state to basically track the current location. So we can say gesture state private var position. So the current position is going to be tracked using this position variable, and this is again going to be cg size dot zero, and we're going to use that function add to position, and we're going to simply say supply position here. So we're going to actually observe this position right here. So we're going to say gesture state or gesture, drag gesture, minimum distance 10 dot. So we're going to use updating once again, updating, and we're going to observe position for the view. Okay, and we get our value, get our state, and we get translation back. Okay, and we're going to use this state, so we can say value dot translation, but when our drag ends, so basically on ended, and when we get the value, we simply say self dot offset is going to be self dot add to position value dot translation. So we get the current translation, and we actually give it to be added in the previous value of the offset whenever that drag ends at any point. Okay, so with that, actually we can see that our view is going to retain the actual drag position of our finger. Okay, and we are leaving it here, and there we go. So as you can see, it's actually following us very well. It doesn't matter if it leaves behind, it still can basically come back, and you're gonna notice you can try this with translation. Just setting the translation, you're gonna see that there's a bit of a trickery that goes on, and view just stays wherever it is. So that's why simply translation is not gonna work. You cannot just say like offset is equal to just value.translation, because that is not the actual value. That's actually in between value of your drags. So in between value of your drags start and the current position. And start position, whenever drag is going on, starts from 0. So that difference only gives you 0 to that point. So it doesn't represent the true value of the last position. So you're gonna have to actually compute it by keep setting the offset value and translation value and adding those two, so you can actually retain the real location where the view is gonna be, or where your finger is and view is gonna basically land right there. Okay, so hope that actually made sense. This is kind of a tricky one. So please take a look at again, and play with different settings to understand this a little bit better. But hopefully this is going to give you a good idea to create your own drawer trays and stuff like that. And we're probably going to see a video on I'll actually create a video next video, maybe to look into how to create a drawer, bottom drawer kind of a view that can basically use the drag gesture. Okay, so I'll see you guys in next video. So thank you very much for watching.